Because it's iconic. I love to do iconic. What's up, you guys? My name is Lexi, better known as Purple Headband Girl on both TikTok and Instagram. And today, you guys are going to hang out with me for a little bit as I go through my book journey and my overall BookTok experience. So, I started BookTok probably about middle of 2022. I can't even begin to even imagine what her account was, but I saw a fellow book talker. She was reacting to a certain chapter in a book by Colleen Hoover, It Ends With Us. If you haven't read that book, be lucky. Um, um, she was reacting to that, and I was like, oh, you know, maybe I'll get into that, So I went, bought it, loved it, and I fell in love with the author herself. And then after that, I started this trend where I was trying to read all of her books by the end of the year. And at the time, I think it was like October. So I was like, oh, I can do it. But also at the time, I had a job where I couldn't really sit down and read the physical books. So I had an Audible subscription. I had 12 credits, and I was like, I can use these credits and start reading because audiobooks count as reading. Had to put that out there. But that's kind of how I started my book journey. My BookTok experience. My overall BookTok experience has been nothing short of amazing. When I started BookTok, I only had probably 200 followers. And now I'm close to 2,500. Not saying that numbers mean everything. If you're only in this for numbers, you're not going to get very far. But it's just amazing seeing my account grow and seeing people interact with me and I like to say I'm medium funny, but just seeing people interact with me and see my content and think it's funny and they come back for more. Reading you guys' comments, literally the best part of BookTok. And then of course there's my girls. It's kind of funny how I even came across them. I was scrolling on TikTok one day and I came across Delaney, aka the Unspoken Library. I came across her live and she was live, and Taylor's BookTok was in the comments, and it was just the three of us. We were just commenting back and forth, and then another fellow BookToker, Ashley, who's also my heart. I love you, Ash. We all joined up in the live, and ever since then, we've all been inseparable. I also met Summer that same night. Summer, my mama bear. I love her to death. And that's sort of, that was weird. That's sort of how the four of us became friends. Steph, aka Midnight, she came a little later. That's okay, because she fits right in. You wouldn't have known that if you see our interactions with each other. Steph came a little bit later. Through also Ashley. From the very first interaction, me and Steph have been like this. Okay, that's my homegirl, that's my heart. I love me some Steph. And we all have the same sense of humor, and we all just fit. If you guys have ever caught our TikTok lives, you know we don't get anything done, and that's okay because that's our aesthetic. Okay, and people love it. My genre of choice. My genre of choice has to be dark romance, but I'm also shifting into more thriller. The very first thriller book I read, or suspense mystery book that I read, was The Wife Between Us. That follows Nellie and Vanessa. Vanessa was once married to a man named Richard, and obviously they're not married anymore, and he moved on to Nellie, who was the new fiance. And the first part of the book, you really think you're reading a book about a jealous ex-wife. Not the case at all. Okay, the big plot twist in that book happens probably about 25% of the book, and it sets the tone for us to also get to know Vanessa and why she's doing what she's doing. We see a different side of Richard. We see a different side of Nellie. All I'm gonna say is Nellie is not who you think she is. Just leaving it there. All right. I did also get Luckiest Girl Alive and Local Woman Missing. I was going to read Luckiest Woman Alive before I watched the movie with Mila Kunis. So I still have to do that. And then Local Woman Missing is supposed to be like Gone Girl with it's supposed to be like Gone Girl. It's supposed to be like with Ben Affleck and that weird woman from Saltburn. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's supposed to be like that, so I'm really looking forward to getting into that. But other than that, you can catch me dark romance. Sorry, not sorry. My first dark romance book was actually Her Soul to Take. Okay, this book holds a special place in my heart. Okay, this follows Rayleigh and Leon. Rayleigh is like a paranormal YouTuber, podcaster, and Leon is a legit demon. You know how people be like, oh, I be on demon time? No, that was his actual job. Okay, he has a soul bond to a book that Rayleigh gets her hand on, and when you get your hands on this book and you summon Leon, he just you right away, no questions asked, and he takes your soul to HE double hockey sticks. But when Rayleigh did it, he's like, no, I'm not gonna take her, I'm gonna keep her forever, and that's what he does. Please check the trigger warnings because this is kind of a heavy book to get through. There's a lot of dark stuff. I mean, it's a dark romance, but there's a lot of dark stuff in this book. You really have to please read the trigger. Trigger warnings are your friends. They're not your enemies. Please read them. Okay, I cannot tell you how many times a lot of fresh book talkers, they start these dark romance books and they're like, oh my God, that book gave me so much anxiety. Did you read the trigger warnings? Don't think you did. It's okay. But yes, this was my very first book into dark romance. And I loved it. I loved every moment of it. This next one, oh my God, I'm sorry, I got so excited. All Hitler be. If you scroll through my TikTok account, I will never stop. I will never shut up about this book. Okay, she's thick and she's jam packed. Okay, this follows Ari and Carter. This book is if Beauty and the Beast, right? But if the Beast was a mafia boss and Belle was his enemy's daughter. He keeps her in a cage. I was sold. He is eating. He's eating. Brother walks in, doesn't care to stop. Hello? Are we okay? No, we're not. It's okay. And this book also holds a special place in my heart. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. This was the second Colleen Hoover book I read or listened to. Okay, I had to have a physical copy of this book. This book sends you through a roller coaster, mainly because this book follows Kenna and Ledger. Kenna is released from prison after 5 years for involuntary manslaughter. She accidentally killed her boyfriend at the time, Cole. Not Cole, I'm sorry, Scotty. Jesus Christ, why do I have Birthday Girl stuck in my head? This is literally, and then you guys are gonna fall. Great. I literally have Birthday Girl stuck in my head. This is not the first time this has happened. I'm already talking about a book. I'm like, Cole. And one of my friends were like, don't you mean Chase? I'm like, oh, why do I have Birthday Girl stuck in my head? Why do I have the name Cole stuck up here? I don't know. Okay. Fresh take. This follows Kenna and Ledger. All right. Kenna was released from prison after involuntary manslaughter. She accidentally killed her boyfriend, Scotty. It was a car accident. She thought he was dead, so she left the scene of the crime. She left the scene of the crime and was later arrested for it. And the fact that she didn't defend herself in court, they just automatically assumed that she was guilty. And now she was released from prison, but also while in prison, she found out she was pregnant with Scotty's kid. Her mom wouldn't take the baby, so the baby had to go to Scotty's family. So now she's out of prison. She wants to reconnect with her daughter, but everyone in this small little Colorado town knows what she did, and they're like, no. Okay, Ledger was Scotty's best friend, who is now helping raise their daughter. It's not helping raise Scotty and Scotty and Kenneth's daughter. This book sends you through a roller coaster, mainly just because it has a lot of good messages about self-love, self-forgiveness, the grieving, mourning. It's so beautiful. My only downfall about this book is that a good chunk of the book happens with over the course of like 3 days. There's like 4 chapters dedicated to one day. Excuse me. I get it's dual perspective, so you kind of have to do it that way, but like, girl, it ain't that big, so what you doing? But nonetheless, I love this book. I ate this book up. If there was ever any Colleen Hoover book I would recommend besides Verity, there will be a review about that book. Besides Verity, will be Reminders of Him. So yeah, that's pretty much my book journey. You guys will be seeing a lot more of me, but just kind of keep in mind I do have a pretty juggle throughout the week, so when I can make a video, I will be making a video. Other than that, you guys can always catch me on TikTok, where I kind of post daily, or you can follow me on Instagram, where I post my reels. And but also we'll be going live with the girls once we get all this situated. Yeah, that's pretty much that. I will be linking my social medias in the description of this video. Please go follow all of us, the whole crew. We're all in this together, guys. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.